Garoppolo, you give me a guy that can actually play the position, and I will take him. Yes, 100%. We will take Derek Carr like that.
Can I push back a little bit?
Please.
Sure. What about all this Mike White?
You don't hear that
the
from
Mike White parade. Because I was the only guy defending Zach Wilson, and we can leave the Zach Wilson. But seems to be some real enthusiasm for Mike White. The team seems to rally around Mike White. Do you think that Mike White could be the solution if you don't get him?
I don't know. I mean, theoretically, he could be a solution. We haven't seen enough of him. I think, people are in love with Mike White. It's like being, like the tallest dwarf in the circus, right? Just because you're the tallest dwarf doesn't mean you're tall, right? Just compare yourself to the other people in your world. And he's not Zach Wilson. And that's the only reason we like him, because he's not Zach Wilson. Let's be fair. The Jet offense has looked better, has looked more confident when Mike White plays. And, there's the old thing we have. Greg knows it better than all of us. The eye test. I know what I see. One guy can't play. One guy looks like he might be able to play.
And then Strebler.
And then Strebler, by the way, great story, right? So no one ever heard of the kid. He was a gunner on the special team squad this past August, and is also a quarterback. Came in, and in the summer, in the preseason, led the Jets on 3 come-from-behind victories.
And that's how he got.
What?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
So listen, I think Carr would be the best quarterback the Jets have had since the first year of Vinny Testaverde, since '98.
So that year was special, obviously, AFC Championship game, Denver Broncos.
The next year tore his Achilles,
tears his Achilles week 1, the whole bit.
But I think Carr. I don't think Carr is great. I think Carr is the definition of an average NFL quarterback.
Sure.
But if I happen to believe, Greg, that the Jets, you look around and it's like, okay, Quinnen Williams is awesome.
Yep.
I think Sauce Gardner is already arguably the best corner in football, certainly en route to being that. Garrett Wilson is going to be a legitimate #1 receiver. And Breece Hall, we'll see. What we saw from him was very good, but he hurt his knee, so we'll see how much that affects him. Mekhi Becton is a high draft pick if he can ever get back on the field.
He won't.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of bad injuries. I understand that. But still, you have all these pieces. I don't think you need a star quarterback in order to compete in the AFC East with that roster. The AFC is really good now because of the Dolphins and the Bills, obviously. But, the Dolphins and Bills are real teams, and Patriots are terrible. But I think that with Derek Carr, the Jets, it would be very surprising to me, Greg, if they didn't make the playoffs if they had Derek Carr.
Yeah, it would be surprising if they didn't make the playoffs. But for me, I don't like it. I just don't like it because I don't know if Derek Carr is ready to live up to that type of pressure and expectation. He's a cautious quarterback. I love Derek Carr. I think he's a really good quarterback. I love him even more as a person, and I don't even personally know him. But with this market and the expectation that fans like Craig have, like it's not just a plug and play and then, because the expectation, if Derek Carr gets here, will be playoffs, deep run in the playoffs, and potential. Can we win a Super Bowl with how good that defense? With how good that defense is.
If you consider that the New York Jets are, possibly going to the playoffs this year, unlikely, but possibly at least in the conversation for it, and that's with incompetent quarterback play.
Exactly right.
If you give me an average to above average, legitimate NFL veteran at quarterback, that's all I need, and I'm at least in the tournament.
I mean, Saleh's trying to build in New York what he was a part of in San Francisco.
Great defense, weapons on offense, a quarterback that doesn't mess it up.
Exactly right. Go ahead.
No, so I want to show you this stat panel.
Yeah.
Quarterback comparison since 2014, Craig.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't understand, Greg, because it's not like you would think, oh, I'm getting some superstar. You're getting Derek Carr. So shouldn't your expectations be, I'm getting Derek Carr. Pretty good. But it's not a Super Bowl quarterback.
I mean, I can make the argument there's a lot of guys that have gone to Super Bowls and won Super Bowls who you would have said prior to that, they're not Super Bowl quarterbacks. This is a team with a top 5 elite defense, although they don't get as many turnovers as you think. And they've got legitimate weapons at wide receiver. Breece Hall, who knows? If he comes back after a torn ACL. The weakness of the Jets is the right side of their offensive line. They can't block anybody. But I still think you give me any one of the guys, I'm sure we'll mention a lot over the next 6 months. And I'm not saying the Jets are winning a Super Bowl. God, wouldn't that be nice? But I'm telling you, they're a playoff team, and there's playoff caliber talent there. And when you waste that, fans like us, commentators like us, get ticked off.
And I think the fact that with 2 weeks left in the season, the Jets, they don't control their own destiny because Miami's ahead of them. But the Jets, if Miami were to lose this week and the Jets win, then they do control. Then Miami versus the Jets is a playoff game. That the Jets are in this position with bottom 5 quarterbacking throughout the season is, to me, a testament to the talent on the roster.
This is a Josh special. He did the calendar year, include the playoffs. Both great. Nick?
Yeah.
Who would you like more? I know your guy is Mahomes, but who would you like more?
Joe Burrow's obviously the better player. Joe Burrow's been better than Josh Allen at every moment, at every football step. He's been better, and he's accomplished more. This is where this is nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes, and I'm glad it doesn't. The question is these two players. They were the same high school class.
You think we're going to go Patrick Mahomes free on this segment?
Yeah.
I dare you.
Okay.
Let's get to 45 with no
Okay,
Patrick
no
Mahomes.
problem. Greg, they were the same high school class. Burrow was a 3-star. Allen was a 2-star.
Oh, my God. We don't care about high school.
I am trying to tell a story of a football life. In college, do you care about college football?
Yes.
Because
he went to Wyoming.
Josh Allen went to Wyoming, and the highest peak he got to was second team Mountain West. Joe Burrow won, there was a trophy, the Heisman, and a national championship, was undefeated. As a rookie, Joe Burrow barely played and was injured, and still was better than Josh Allen as a rookie, because Josh Allen's rookie year was historically bad. As a second-year player, Josh Allen was okay. Joe Burrow made the Super Bowl. And as a third-year player, Josh Allen was an MVP candidate that fell short of it. And Joe Burrow this year is an MVP candidate that will fall short of it. Joe Burrow's better. He's more consistent. He's more accurate. He is more clutch. And he has accomplished more. Joe Burrow is, by any fair definition, the second best quarterback in football, second best to someone we will not name this segment. So the answer is Joe Burrow, Greg Jennings.
So I don't. Even if it was Josh Allen, you're not going to ever say Josh Allen. That's just what you do.
No, it's not what I do.
It's what you do.
Consistency. But
I'm a truth teller.
It's what you do. However, if I am playing wide receiver,
this is good.
give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah, of
Really?
course. Yeah.
Give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Because as a receiver, you want a guy, and again, this is not a knock on Josh Allen. I would love to play with Josh Allen too. He does great. Obviously,
Sure.
Stephon Diggs could attest to that. But Joe Burrow just has this it about him that he is cool under pressure. I showed you guys a clip yesterday
To win the game against the Chiefs.
He knew he was going to take a hit. That's what you want at under center, throwing the ball to you as a receiver. I just got to get open. And I know he's going to be accurate. If he's on his feet and he has time and he can follow through, that ball's coming to me and it's going to be on point. I love everything about Joe Burrow. I don't like comparing these two because they're so different styles of play and players. But Joe Burrow, if I'm playing wide receiver and you look at Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and all those guys, and there's a reason why they're so successful.
And can I add one other thing,
Sure.
Wilds? Because we did those full screens, and we did something a little tricky with them. Because we did total yards. Because for Josh Allen, in order for him to stack up to the best quarterbacks in football, you have to include his rushing
Well, it's
stuff.
modern day football. We're not doing football from the 60s.
No. But here's the thing. So here's the reason why I discount that to a degree. Because I do not think that part of his game is long-term sustainable. I think the running parts of quarterbacks, with the Lamar as maybe the rare exception, Justin Fields, guys who running is the primary thing they do. It might not be long-term sustainable for them either, but that is what makes them them. I don't think Josh Allen is going to be able to be this bulldozing power back, 15 times a game late into his career or even midway through his career. The throwing stuff is what has to sustain you. And I think by any fair measure, Joe Burrow's the better passer. He's the better passer. And so I think that's why Greg said as a wide receiver that you'd rather have him. He is the better passer. Now, Josh can kill you with his legs. And when he runs, it is scary. But I don't look at that as having a long horizon. I look at some point the Bills are going to tell him, you have to stop this.
He's not going to. They should have said that a long time ago.
It's what makes him special. But you look at Lamar Jackson, one of the reasons why wide receivers